Life's
Life,
kind of kicked both our asses lately.
Yeah. We're hanging in there.
But, yeah, we're here.
I'm short right now.
He's short, even though there are chairs, he chose not to have one.
Being short is not a bad thing.
I know. He just chose not to have a chair.
I just chose to be short.
He opted against a chair.
I'm thinking at the moment.
He does that sometimes, and it's scary when it happens.
I really like fantasy.
I really like not reality.
I really hate to be that guy, but I totally get that. I do consider myself something of an escapist.
Oh, yeah.
Some people misunderstand that as meaning that I'm like an escape artist or something, which is not the same thing.
Yeah, you're an escape artist.
I'm not a Houdini.
You strike me very much as an escape artist. Oops. I don't need the Girls and Boyos tag if I'm not in the Girls and Boyos Discord.
But yeah, I mean, escapism does take up, like, about a good bit of my time and even more of my mental energy. Is probably the single biggest expenditure of mental energy for me.
I've wished escapism would have been more effective on me over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, my dog just got put down yesterday, and so it's been pretty difficult for the last month or so.
That's the problem with really great pets.
Yep.
It is something that crosses my mind occasionally, but...
Oh, Jesus. Game audio's up.
I mean, is it something you're okay talking about?
Yeah.
I will say I didn't know him that well, but from what I've seen, I'd say it's a similar situation to Amber in that it wasn't quite as long of a run as it should have been, but I do really get the feeling that it was a longish run and a lot of love was given and received, so...
Oh, did you lose Amber? Oh, wait, you lost Amber.
Yeah.
You have Roxy.
Right. And Amber was probably the friendliest dog I ever knew.
Amber was a real sweetheart.
She had no capacity for being mean. She just couldn't.
And she was always excited to see everything.
Right. So, yeah. I'd say that's the feeling I get here, is just... It wasn't as long of a run as it should have been, but it was a good one. So at least you take comfort in that.
Mm-hmm. But it's definitely not an easy thing.
Yeah, Jinx has been all over me for the last couple years, and I keep getting nervous.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a big part of my issues with having any pets. That's why I don't think I'll ever have pets on my own.
Yeah, and... yeah, because you don't want to deal with that by yourself.
Yeah, I don't know that I could.
I mean, I know I could, but... It would be a very bad experience. I mean, I think I understand why Raocow didn't get another cat.
Yeah.
Because he loved his cat so much, he couldn't bear to do that again.
Yeah, I am just too depressive to try and handle that on my own. I think it would be really hard for me.
I think I could handle it better, but again, I dread the idea of having to deal with that. It sounds terrible. I feel it's kind of weak of me, but... Well, I guess I just accept that about myself.
Did you see my new Vaporwave drawing I made?
I don't think so.
Well, maybe sometime today you'll see it if it loads. There we go. It says you should drink joy.
I really know you shouldn't. You definitely shouldn't.
If you drink pure liquid dopamine, it would kill you.
I'm sure it would. If you drink pure liquid most things, it would kill you.
Unless it's water. Then you should drink pure liquid water.
Yeah,
I mean,
water's kind of an acquired taste.
Drinking pure solid water is a dangerous thing.
Yeah, but not liquid water.
Yeah.
It's hard to drink something that's not when it's pure solid.
Yeah.
Oh, that plane over there, I think, is up to some mischief.
These ones are, this is, the cargo, and this is the passenger. Alright, so, I need my, hey logo.
Did you know apparently in the earliest years of his runs, Batman just killed left and right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I knew that he'd done it some, just do that to a long runner, but no. Early on,
yeah, no,
that no killing thing, that's modern Batman.
Yeah, his modern personalities did not form at the beginning.
He killed in his first appearance.
Yeah.
In all of his first appearances, really, back then.
Yeah. There's still so much traffic in this area.
Why is biofascination such a thing?
What do you mean?
Just when I was looking up just classic comic book story arcs, I always find myself more drawn to the ones that are considered the worst than the ones considered the best. See,
because there's entertainment and cringe.
Right. But like, on some of my favorite Discords, you have like channels for like cursed memes and that kind of stuff, which is just pure cringe, and I just mute those because.
Well, curse isn't really the same as cringe. Curse is traditionally inexplicable. Hi, TS guy, how are you?
Wow, this does not sound like a game soundtrack still.
Yeah, it's so damn good. It is some nice audio.
But I've come to appreciate that, like, for a long time I associated, like, the older comic books, the ones with, like, a much flatter art style, like, color-wise, didn't have as much in the way of shading and such. It was less detailed. I always associate those with, like, 80s Saturday morning cartoons, tone-wise.
No, they were very dark.
Yeah, now I understand that I knew nothing. Even when they're not dark, they can be very deep.
Yeah, no.
I just recently finished like a synopsis of I think Marvel's Secret Wars 2, and it was basically a big superhero mashup with very little actual super powered combat involved.
Yeah.
It was mainly just some completely new character. It was basically an exploration in philosophy and like psychology. It was weird.
Yeah, no, a lot of people say that that's why Superman is often misunderstood. The point of Superman isn't traditionally his superpowers.
It's his relation to the world.
Yeah, the fact that he's a fish out of water kind of story.
I looked over the various Marvel like Civil War stories, and I concluded that they're all kind of bad because they're just made of potential and they don't really amount to anything.
Civil War?
Yeah, Civil War and Civil War 2. It might be that I'm just misunderstanding them, because I always figured in a big superhero Civil War, like, fans are supposed to like choose their favorite side, but that each side is just presenting a different,
usually one side is
view.
very clearly correct.
That seems to be the case. Which basically means whichever heroes are on the other side just sort of come across as temporary villains.
In a sense, yes.
And I don't see why it would be that way.
Because while you don't agree with them. Tony Stark had valid points.
Oh no! You're talking about Civil War 1? Yeah, absolutely. I agree that superhuman registration made perfect sense. If superheroes were a real thing, I'm sure that would be a real thing too. It would have to be.
Yeah, just like registering any deadly weapons.
Right. Perhaps you don't have to register necessarily to have superhuman abilities, but you might have to register to be able to legally use it. Well, you would have to be registered in some capacity to fight crime.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're an illegal vigilante.
Yeah.
Having powers shouldn't exempt you from the law.
Yeah. The most interesting story in Superman I ever saw was one where he lost his powers entirely.
I wonder how many times that's happened.
I would imagine several.
Yeah. And I'm still not sure who the good guy of Civil... Oh, right, but I don't really know who the good guy of the first Civil War is supposed to be. I've been told that...
Cap is arguably the hero, but both, again, they do have valid reasons for their concern.
And Cap also had good points in that, again, well, that is, the way that was handled was pretty unconstitutional, and while his message makes sense to me, the pro-registration side was completely terrible in every other way. They went and basically released a bunch of supervillains and used nanites to control them to force them to round up heroes. Only villains do that.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's showing that even a good person can fall victim to using bad tactics if they think their actions are good enough.
Right, but he didn't have to do that.
Again.
And apparently to unite the superheroes, because a house divided cannot stand, he attempted to, he basically murdered a warehouse full of Atlanteans to incite the Atlanteans against the United States to force the heroes to be somewhat united against another threat.
Yeah.
That's literally murder.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of holding the villain ball there. I mean, I guess it's going to be hard to get so many classically good aligned characters to be each other's faces without just, oh, it was mind control or something. And so I get that, but it really does just make the pro-registration heroes look bad.
Yeah. And I definitely, since I haven't read the whole thing, I don't know how well one could justify X or Y being a thing.
Well, I think they tried to make Cap look a bit bad in that I guess he got a bit obsessive at, he lost sight of the real meaning of the battle and just became obsessed with winning eventually, but I feel that Iron Man's deeds spoke much louder in terms of being wrong. The second Civil War had, I guess, that one fell apart in just, what was being fought over. Do you know anything about the second one?
No, I haven't read any of it.
So yeah, apparently some superhuman is discovered the ability to... Oh. Many things it's just... I've been on a comic binge lately.
Yeah, he's talking comics.
I've concluded I might just have a very obsessive personality.
He may just have he says he may.
I didn't actually realize it.
He does have a very obsessive personality.
But I just come to understand that, no, comics can get very deeply philosophical.
Oh, absolutely.
And I love that.
Also, comics can rip your goddamn heart out.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, it gets progressively hard for them to do so, but I'm sure they can. But yeah, so a superhuman who can see the future is discovered, and they predict a terrible crime and everyone bands together and they stop it. It's basically addressing the concept of pre-crime.
Oh, thought crimes.
Yeah, if you can predict a crime coming, like if you see no one's going to commit a crime, can you arrest them preemptively?
Which I'm guessing the argument finally was no, it's not justified because it takes away the act of freedom and.
Right. But that being said,
was it Vision?
It was an Inhuman called Ulysses. And basically it was Iron Man versus Captain Marvel, with Iron Man getting to be on the good side this time.
Yeah, I was going to say, Captain Marvel seems like the kind who would be more likely to try and arrest someone for something they haven't actually done.
Right, that said, the Aesop kind of falls apart early because the first predicted disaster was prevented through the hero's actions. Which means, if these prophecies aren't set in stone, then no, you clearly can't rely on them, right? Mm-hmm. Or at least you can't preemptively punish someone based on it. But like, time and again they manage to thwart these omens, and Captain Marvel just keeps insisting adamantly on relying on him. So she basically just comes across as an idiot and a huge jerk. Izzy says that she's generally a huge jerk.
Yeah, she's very prideful and often makes very questionable actions, which was not shown at all in the movie, apparently, and that's one of the criticisms they had was it's totally fine to make a female superhero the focus, and a lot of people wish they'd done it with Black Widow, and they didn't.
The problem is that they didn't really explore her character.
They didn't explore her character, and they didn't want to make the female character look like they were questionable. They wanted them to kind of look absolutely perfect.
Which means it wasn't Captain Marvel.
Yeah, which a lot of people said, but that totally kills the entire reason and idea of the character.
It'd be like in an Iron Man movie if you played Iron Man like Captain America.
Yeah.
Who is generally considered a more pure and good character.
Yeah. Cap is often...
he's called a Boy Scout for a reason.
Yeah, Cap is often associated heavily with being the most pure of heart.
He's the neutral good.
Yeah, he will break a law if it is bad for the people.
But if it's not, he will respect it.
Yeah.
He respects the value of law, but goodness over that.
Yeah. That's a good way of looking at it.
I think Civil War I called him out on not understanding what America was, and that he was still in his mind living in, like, 1940s America. I know he got drilled on whether or not he knew what MySpace was.
That's not surprising.
Way to date the Civil War, but...
Well, I mean, there is a date to the Civil War.
Yeah.
So, that's not unjustified.
Yeah,
man, you do sound like me. Mine's from reflux. His is from being sick.
I actually had reflux the other day. Yeah, and I don't have that much anymore.
I had reflux up in my ears.
Oh, damn!
It felt like my whole head was on fire last night. Like, it hurt so bad. I actually went into a, biological fight or flight. I could not sit down. I was so worried and pained.
That sounds like me during my first my first hour or so when my bulge disc reached its worst point, and I literally could not stand up, and I was panicking because
you do a lot of things.
because my body was in an agonizing position, and I kept trying to
move but couldn't.
No, I was trying to get into another position that wasn't agonizing, but it was none of them. So I was moving, move again, move, keep moving. Just do something to make the pain stop. Nothing makes it stop.
Yep.
It was that kind of thing, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing just how living beings are. Just the brain is so advanced, but it also does things like that.
Yeah.
or it torments you over something you have no power over.
Yeah. And not only torment, but like panic level.
It's basically when pain gets to the make it stop, make it stop, make it stop level.
Dark! So why can't you be here too long, Dark? I mean, it's fine, you do what you need to do, but what was it you were saying about you couldn't stick around long?
There's a bomb set, and if he's on the internet too long, it'll explode.
That's sad.
Yeah. I don't know why I said it. I actually know nothing of Captain Marvel.
She is...
Oh.
Oh, ew!
It's that the thing. So do I. Early just means something different in this part of the world. Oh! Well, I mean, that's not that ew. I have to work, but...
Oh, that's sweet. Alright, so... what's needed to level it up?
Oh.
Academic works.
Ouch. It's cold over here, and I don't like that.
You mean here?
Yeah. No, I mean, like, in the city. This city. This city is cold right now. This geographic location. Not this room.
Oh, yeah. I'm not an avid fan of such things.
You know, someone said something interesting to me on Discord a while ago when discussing whether being hot versus cold. They said, hot is oof, and you can't escape. I don't know why.
That sounds like something you would say.
It really stuck with me, though. Hot is oof, and you can't escape.
That sounds exactly like something you would say.
I think my favorite part, though, is the you can't escape. I don't know why, but... driving is scary. I've heard this song before.
We have to do an underground tunnel. Can you not do underground tunnels?
Not in my town. But this is your town, so I don't know.
Odd. Normally you can do underground things. Huh.
Bird?
Alright, well I need to put a subway station out to here. There's nothing to do with people like you.
Modern memes. I don't know why they bother me.
Shin's an old man.
All these new Lego City memes, I just don't get them.
I don't directly pay attention to any specific memes.
Well, I try not to, but they come to me.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So what other comics have you seen synopses of?
The Spider-Man clone saga.
Was it fun?
It was sad. Not in universe. It was sad. Just that it wasn't very good. And I think Spider-Man just seems like he's had a lot of bad runs, which is unfortunate because I conclude that I really like the character concept.
What, clones?
No, Spider-Man. Just this kind of everyman hero.
Yeah. Although he's really friggin' smart compared to the average person.
He's still an everyman, though, more or less. I think the PS4 game really colored my view of him. Just
a lot of people really like that game.
It is my favorite Spider-Man movie.
It's not a movie.
I mean, it's a movie to me.
Do I have a prison yet?
But just it feels really good to root for him, so to speak. Very like a real Determinator type hero.
I don't really want the prison right next to the expo center.
I read a bit about how Venom is actually. While I try to make him edgy, he really, at the end of the day, is kind of just has always been a goofball.
Who is?
Venom.
It depends.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically the answer to almost every character, is it depends.
It really does. That's why the Clone Saga was terrible, because they had like 4 different writers all trying to take the story in different directions. So it just sort of, the stories meandered all over the place and was just really weird. Let's see, I can't remember any other major synopses I've listened to recently, but I'm gonna look into like the Infinity Wars type stuff next, but those are long synopses. So it's gonna take a while.
So you haven't done a lot of it yet, you just started.
I've just been doing a lot of it. I've been binging. Like, the Civil War synopsis was like, the video was like 5 hours long.
Oh yeah, no, I've definitely seen, I mean, you've seen my Nightmind
Yeah, and like,
ones.
but I was watching on my phone, so I didn't have ad block on, so like the little red bar with the yellow bits on it was more of like a yellow bar with little bits of red.
Yeah.
That made me laugh, because it wasn't as bad as it looked like it would be, because 5 hours is pretty long. And I really enjoyed Secret Wars too. I don't know what was secret or war-like about it, but it didn't really feel like it had anything to do with anything, but I don't know. I feel like I really could get behind characters I didn't know anything about up until then.
Yeah, no, I legitimately was surprised when you said comics didn't interest you, because I had a feeling that it would be a theme that would interest you based on...
Right, stories interest me in the writing, and I think it's part of, there's something about the format. Like, the buying them issue by issue, I don't like.
Well, you can buy completed series.
Right, and I have done that some. It's just that it's kind of hard to do that sometimes for the series you want. But yeah, I think when I'm just I want to be able to just read the whole story, not just read a snippet of it, wait a month, another snippet, wait a month. I don't like that.
Well, then it sounds to me like you would not be excited at the release of a comic, but by the completion of a comic.
Yeah. Like, when I'm at a comic shop, if I'm looking at comics, I'm going to be looking at, like, collections.
Yeah.
And that's... And sometimes that... I don't even know if ever... Like, I think it might not even have every arc just as a complete collection. remember back when Hastings existed, I actually would get a few from there.
I'm so sad Hastings.
Yeah, I know.
Hastings was such a great place.
I mean, I'm glad that we still do have a sort of nerd culture store in town, and a good one even, but I miss Hastings.
Yeah. I haven't actually been to Nerd Culture Store since the beginning of the year.
Really? I've been there occasionally looking for models and such. I'm still... Oh, for Christmas I got an imported model, and I immediately, took a huge gash out of the first piece I tried to cut, and that kind of...
Really upset you.
Yeah. I keep meaning to ask how I can repair it, because I got some plastic cement. Oh, No, that really demoralized me.
Oh, is there no more here? Alright, I need to extend the road.
I don't want to admit to them that I'm using nail clippers. I don't think anyone uses nail clippers, but it seems to be more efficient than not using them. With the way I'm kind of insecure about my model building technique. Just because I don't...
I think there's more people that use nail clippers than you would think.
Yeah, well, and because I don't actually, I don't sand, I don't paint, The idea of going that far sounds boring, so I don't. Really, all that I would get out of it is the building. That's where I draw satisfaction. Putting things together and watching, just random little bits and shapes take more recognizable and complex form.
Yeah, I know that building models can be very frustrating.
Especially
And the more rewarding the model, the more frustrating it is.
Yep, because this one's this is a huge one. I mean, I horribly screwed up the first piece, and I don't even. I mean, I know it can be fixed. I don't know how well it can, or how much of a pain it'll be, or
if you'll enjoy doing it.
Yeah, and I'm just disappointed in myself. Then sometimes you're cutting out a piece, and that piece just decides it wants to leave orbit.
Oh, it falls and you don't.
No,
know
it flies.
Oh.
I've had one that tried to hit me in the eye once, but human reflexes surprise me sometimes.
I scratched my glasses the other day, which made me very, very sad.
Yeah.
It's right in the center of my vision, too.
It makes me glad that I don't really wear glasses much.
I have too much soil.
What are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna dump it.
Ha! Take that. Having played through enough Marvel games now, I still don't understand the concept behind Thanos as a character.
What do you mean?
I guess it's because as a kid I was never really exposed to him, but he just never really he always strikes me as I just get the feeling of a B-list villain from him, even though he's one of the big deal villains.
Like Dr. Doom?
Yeah, like Dr. Doom, Magneto, Trigonometry Baby.
Trigonometry Baby is the ultimate.
Yeah.
But he's only a villain to some people.
Right.
He's like an anti-hero, really.
An anti-hero or an anti-villain? But yeah. I think also maybe Thanos just doesn't look very menacing.
I think someone called him Purple Shrek one time, and that made me laugh.
I mean, are they wrong? Slightly, but they're not completely wrong.
I liked the term Purple Shrek.
He's just some buff purple guy. And just, I guess also most of my exposure to him was in a video game, and a video game can't really make him exceptionally threatening.
Outrageous because it has to be playable.
Yeah. It also made the idea of the Infinity Stones kind of, because like, oh no, this villain has the Infinity Stone. Now you gotta fight him, and they have these special weird powers, but it's just a regular fight. Which means I think that was just a bad storytelling video game format.
Which was the Infinity Stones?
Ultra Alliance 3 was all about basically the Infinity War. And the stones just...
I had the courthouse.
The stones and Thanos were made out to be like these...
So you're saying the fact that he doesn't look remarkable subtracts from his effectiveness at being intimidating.
Right, along with the fact that I guess I would be exposed to him in a video game where he's just another, admittedly late game, boss battle.
Yeah, he's a DBZ villain.
Yes, I mean, he's stronger than the other bosses, but you still just punch him until he goes down. And he does eventually.
Did you see the thing? Oh yeah, I saw you commented on it.
The which one?
The one about the foolproof strategy to defeating...
Yeah, and it works on him. Even though, like, logically from what I understand about the Infinity Gauntlet, that shouldn't work at all. He'd be one of those villains you just can't, you need to come up with shenanigans to beat him. Because from a pure power standpoint, he's unbeatable, right?
I mean, only a few people have been able to defeat him.
Right.
Decidedly.
And when he has all the stones, he basically is God.
Yeah.
So you can't just punch him because he can just decide not to be punched.
Yeah.
He can decide that, no, you're the one who was punched, and there's nothing you can do. But in a video game, that really wouldn't be gameplay.
You mean manipulating the reality around you?
Yeah. Like, all the stones, the only one that does anything even slightly interesting is the Time Stone, and it is interesting vaguely in the most predictable way.
Because it rewinds time.
So they use to stop time. And then while time is stopped, they'll like move around or they'll attack, set up an attack. It'd be interesting if the game actually portrayed a time-stopping attack as your character ought to be perceiving it. Which would look super janky, but that's kind of the point, you know?
Yeah.
Because when it just freezes time and you see time freeze, that really does just make it like any other attack in the end of the day.
Yeah. I agree with you there.
Like the Mind Stone just means if you get hit by the attack, your controls get a bit screwy temporarily, which is...
So in other words, it's Psycho Mantis mode.
Psycho Mantis Light. There's the Soul Stone, which it drains your hit points and heals the boss a negligible amount. It's just...
I probably shouldn't put the library right next to the football stadium.
The whole story is about them, but they don't... They feel like the Chaos Emeralds. Basically, whoever has the... Like, they're the MacGuffins that everyone wants, and you're better if you have them. But that's it. What?
Okay, you're going to have to explain because neither of us play much pinball.
No, I don't. I've only ever played like 2 pinball tables in my life. None of them were modern pinball. I feel I'm missing something big here. Varsity Sports. How you doing, potato?
Jesus, all the building. Okay, so here's one criticism I have in City Skylines. All of the additional buildings you get from expansion packs are gigantic.
Well, yeah, just like in real life. Life has... All the DLC things in life are just enormous.
It's the Technological Institute of Griffox.
What?
Alright.
Man, Bogleach is really getting bent out of shape about how all the Pokemon in Gen 8 are animals we've already had Pokemon of, and I really don't see why that's a big deal.
Because there are lots of animals that haven't been done yet.
I guess, but is really having...
I've already learned that Bogleach is very opinionated and sometimes exhausting to listen to.
We've been getting a lot of 4.5 out of 5 stars, though, which is surprising, but... Because I just cannot get excited over anything from 8th Gen.
Well, unlike you, I actually did like the Scorbunny line.
I was unimpressed, and then Bogleach just turned me against it completely.
Just because he looks like a character.
And just... It doesn't do anything. There's nothing to it. Unless you like soccer. So you had to defeat him on the tail, you had to beat... You had to best him under the effect of each stone, one after the other. Pinball games just... I don't know how to even approach pinball.
I'm bad at pinball.
He'll crush you instantly since he considers you non-threat. See, but I mean, how can he crush you in pinball?
Bus.
What? Oh, okay. So this is an actual table. See, I'm completely out of the loop when it comes to pinball. Huh.
Alright, so this is sports lane over here.
Uh-oh. That sounds gross.
It's okay. So the academic end of year happens, so I get an upgrade to the academics things.
I was complaining about how the new centipede Pokemon looks too much like a centipede. It's not stylized enough.
I don't understand Bogleach.
I sometimes do and sometimes don't. Which I suppose means at the end of the day I don't.
Cafeteria.
Still, it is a different take from the mainstream, which is I guess what draws me. Sizzlipede, I think, and Centiscorch.
Oh, she's going bananas and you're going nuts.
It's not, nuh-uh.
Oh, football game must have done the lose.
Oh, is there, who died? How many people died? Are you gonna put a library on the stadium?
No.
Oh, that's good.
No, stadium moved back over. I moved it for like a week over here, and then I moved the whole stadium back over where it was.
Apparently in the middle of the grap-locked Pokemon review, you ended up rating the Joker at 2 out of 5 Pokeballs.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
Alright, so I need to make some residential. Let's have...
I'm sorry they didn't finish baking you, grap-locked.
I don't know what crap locked means.
It's this guy.
Oh, grapple octopus. Okay.
Yeah, I keep forgetting he exists also.
I haven't followed any of it, so...
I mean, we did briefly look over all of them for a stream, but...
Did we?
Yeah, we looked over Gen 8, not the DLC stuff, because it's not really
Oh yeah, we just didn't look at all of
the big boys.
Yeah, the largest boys.
Which again, I do kind of wish were just regular evolutions a lot. Because as is, they're just going to stop existing in a bit. I don't want to sound cynical, but I mean pessimistic, but it always happens.
Oh, that they'll just be irrelevant in a generation?
Yeah, that Gigantamax will just be in a Galar thing, and so in every other game, just they won't exist in any capacity.
Yep.
And it seems like a pretty difficult feature to just shoehorn into games casually like Megas were.
Well, and the other thing is that every time they make a remarkable Pokemon, they make it suck.
Huh?
Like an interesting one where they have some quirk or idea that goes with them.
I think that Gen 7 was pretty good about that.
I'm just saying, Eevee is really unique and special. And then every other one is like, Spinda, which has its unique quirk of having spots that are variant from Pokemon to Pokemon, and it's not really that good. Smeargle, with very few exceptions, is completely awful according to Smogon.
Yeah, both of them are, both Smeargle and Spinda have terrible stats.
Yeah.
Garbage week.
Ditto, other than for very certain circumstances involving getting rid of Stealth Rock or something, is almost useless. Is Zoroark considered good or just popular?
I think he's alright. He's decent. He's not bad. He has... His gimmick is
a very
usable.
Gimmick,
it's usable, and he's pretty fast. He has decent speed and decent special attack, so he can knock you. He can beat you up.
Porygon, which until there were a couple others.
Two and Porygon Z both have some niche uses.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Is it's almost always a niche use if they have a use. Is Rotom actually considered good?
I think Wash Rotom is considered pretty good. He's not amazing, but he is competent. I think all the Rotoms are seen as alright, except for Ice Rotom, because Ice is
Plus, half of Eevee's evolutions are not all that good. It just happens that Eevee is relatively useful.
Right, I think that Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Espeon and Sylveon are all... They all get
Jolteon
use.
is your glass cannon. Vaporeon is a tank.
absolutely.
Espeon is kind of balanced.
Espeon's also a glass cannon, and Sylveon's also a tank.
Yeah, and then
It's just
Flareon,
really-
no one ever wants to use Flareon ever, which sucks because I find Flareon adorable.
Leafeon, Glaceon, and Flareon are just bad.
Glaceon's ice type.
Yes.
Enough said.
And Leafeon's grass type, and between them and Flareon, they're all too slow to do
And
anything.
Umbreon.
And Umbreon, I think Umbreon has some niche uses. And is very popular for their appearance. Well, I guess
Umbreon's pretty.
all of the evolutions except
Yeah, at
maybe,
least evolutions
Jolteon.
are still respected because of the fact that
They're very
are
stylish.
so adorable.
I'm just happy that my favorite is also
One
viable.
of the best. Let's see here.
Yeah, their big thing is that you can use Wish, which basically after a few turns will heal the current Pokemon half of the user's max HP, and Vaporeon has extremely high base HP.
Yeah. Let's see.
And some attacking ability.
Vivillon is not useful for anything.
No. It's Flying Bug and doesn't have good stats.
Gastrodon's line isn't particularly useful for
I
anything.
think Gastrodon doesn't really have any interesting gimmick though.
The red, or the blue and the pink version.
Oh, that, count that one.
That's what I'm talking about. Things that have some sort of interesting gimmick or trait to them.
I think
And
Alcremie is okay.
Alcremia?
Alcremie, yeah.
The one with
It's
and
basically
without the...
Yeah, the one that can whip into different forms.
Yeah.
Which, I think that's a pretty fun gimmick.
Yeah, generally, though, that's the biggest problem I have with it, is that, like, they'll make these ones that I'm like, oh, that's a cool little addition they did.
But you can't
And then
use
they're
it.
completely a waste to even have.
I'm going to actually look up Smogon's listing to see about this. Because if Gastrodon's seen as an interesting gimmick, I think we got something going.
Basically, any of them where there's something besides a single individual regular form. Oh, cast form. Cast form's not useful at all either.
I've seen Castform devastate a Nuzlocke once. But yeah, no, Castform's awful, and whether he's boobs or a butt, it's a mystery.
No, he's a Scroat, and then
See, there's so many
and
things
then
you don't.
Skuntank is boobs. Skuntank is
And
boobs.
Stunky is a butt.
Yeah, Stunky has a butt face.
And it involves
And so does Magmar,
yeah, so
the butt duck.
so it's proof that boobs are just butt, but boobs.
We're so dumb.
And I'm proud of that. There's also whether or not Pokemon is good. Do you count whether they're good by what tier they're in, or how they fare within their tier?
Both. They're both separate traits, but both matter.
For example, Aegislash is in the overused tier, which is one of the highest.
Yeah. Which he is interesting because he has two forms. Although his big thing is just the fact that it's Ghost Steel?
No, his big thing is his ability, which is like stance change.
Yeah,
He goes into defensive mode when he uses a non-attack move, and attacking mode when he uses an attack.
But I'm just saying, is he Ghost Steel?
Yes, which is
2 immunities.
3.
3 immunities.
Normal, fighting, and poison.
Yeah.
And not even immunities, that's a lot. Power button for
Oh,
your...
okay, it just did.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't like having a power button for your computer on your keyboard.
Yeah, I don't
Like, a
like
power
having-
button for the keyboard itself is fine, right?
Yeah. But that's the thing. It has a switch for the power on the keyboard and a button to shut off the whole computer.
And apparently and you can also put it to sleep, apparently.
Yeah. So I hope that the stream is still running. I can't tell. Let me look at it on my... It says it's still live.
Wow, Cramorant is actually in underuse. I expected him to be lower.
Cramorant.
It's the one that eats a Pikachu.
Oh, yeah.
That's a gimmick.
Yeah.
Darmanitan isn't overused. But I guess that might be not including his gimmick. What? That's basically the top.
Galar Darmanitan is uber tier?
Yeah, and in Zen mode he's an overused. The one where he becomes a flaming snowman.
Alright, give me a second. Alright. I think we're back.
Yeah, but yeah, Pokemon. No, apparently Darmanitan is dominating the competitive scene. Ditto is actually an overused.
Really?
Yes, because Ditto is the best revenge killer in the tier, it says.
See, I don't know on that.
I guess it's because of Ditto with his imposter ability, which allows him to transform immediately when being sent out.
I thought that was, the Fox.
No, that's illusion.
Yeah.
No, illusion just makes you look like you're a different Pokemon. Imposter basically lets Ditto transform immediately without having to use his turn to do it.
Oh, so they get
It's his hidden ability.
2 moves, basically.
Right, it's his hidden ability, which is actually good.
Alright. To anyone who's still watching the stream, yeah, it got all messed up.
The keyboard ate it.
Let us know if things are working.
Let's see. There we go. Ice Cube. There's a gimmick Pokemon that's not used ever.
Yeah. And ice mode.
Noise Face.
Oh, noise face, that's right.
It's very silly. Yeah, Gorgeist I don't think is ever used.
What's Gorgeist's weird gimmick?
They come in different sizes, which have slightly different stats. That's a gimmick.
Oh shit.
Herbie Derby. Like, well, I don't see like this. Keldeo's overused.
Well, that's because Keldeo's mythical.
I think there are some mythicals who aren't that good.
Well, I know that Mew, Jirachi, and, as you said, Keldeo are. Maybe Shaman isn't.
I think that they're actually a bit lower than that. I wonder if Gigantamax has actually done anything for Lapras.
It made you
Nope.
disappointed in Lapras.
Nope. Oh!
Didn't it?
Yeah, I don't like it, but...
Because it's contradictory?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense lore-wise, and also it just... it doesn't look nice. Apparently Gigantamax Lapras is Uber tier? Or maybe that's just... Maybe other tiers just don't allow Dynamaxing? That seems
I don't
weird.
think that Smogon's tiers have anything at all to do with that.
With what?
With whether they can Dynamax or not.
No, I mean whether... Like whether these tournament competitive tiers allow it. I've heard something about in several competitive scenes Dynamaxing has been banned.
Oh. I love the idea that there are things provided in games that are banned for the competitive scene. It's just so ridiculous.
I mean, it can make sense, I guess, if it makes the game, the competitive scene, less fun to a degree.
Competitive scene is not fun.
Yeah.
My argument, I know it's controversial to some people out there. Competitive scene is not fun.
Like in TCGs, at some points, like...
Is it working, Logo? Because I bumped the power button on my keyboard, which puts it in sleep mode.
Like, what if in a TCG, all, like, in a big tournament, all, like, the 32 top spots all use the same kind of deck? That's clearly the sign... Well, that's clearly a problem, right? That the game isn't functioning as intended.
What is? Sorry, I was
That,
doing a thing.
like in a TCG tournament, if a certain strategy is so good that, like, the 32 top placements are all using the same type of deck, I think that means you got a problem and you might need to ban something for the sake of the game. Because, whether you like it or not, there will always be a competitive scene for that type of game.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a hard sell on on those kinds of discussions.
Let's see, all the different Pikachu hats are not even placed in a tier because no one uses them.
Yeah, because Pikachu's not actually that good, despite
Apparently-
being popular.
G-Max Fat Pikachu is Uber. So I think that's just a G-Max thing. Yeah, Wash Rodom is overused. as are some of the other Rotom. So no, Rotom is... he definitely sees use.
See, this is all surprising to me, because in my understanding, a lot of the times, the, like, quirky, gimmicky Pokemon all seemed to be just awful.
Let's see, Shedinja is awful.
Even though it is one of the most frustrating to deal with under certain circumstances.
If it's an entire Mystery Dungeon, just throw rocks at it.
Yeah, but if you don't know that, like I didn't, because I don't play Pokemon, it was awful.
Silvally is never used. That is surprising.
You have to fetch more food, darn. Funky way of saying it. Man, I gotta get more food. I'm gonna get some bad guys. Or I'm gonna go shoot some bad guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Sylveon's apparently way up there. Toxtricity's overused? With that level of speed? Really? What's the secret? Hug! Oh. Ball.
No, I don't want to put a recycle bin there.
Oh, I see. This thing doesn't even have all Pokemon on it.
Why is that?
I think, like, for example, Unknown wasn't there. I guess it's because, like, say, Unknown just isn't even worth considering.
So that's below PU?
Unknown only has one move, and it's not a good one on it.
I know, but I'm saying that's still below PU.
It's untiered. Which I think means it's not good enough for any tier. Yeah, there definitely are some good gimmicky Pokemon.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because I hated the idea that they wasted all that time coming up with something more interesting, remarkable, and creative.
All the Pokemon are here because not all Pokemon are usable in Sword and Shield. That's right, I forgot.
Oh, is this Sword and Shield only?
I'm looking at the most current listings, which it makes sense now. I was looking at the wrong list.
I need to get some batteries from upstairs, and I keep forgetting.
Don't do it. Like, Arceus is pretty good.
Yeah, but Arceus is a legendary.
Well, he's a mythical, but...
I thought he was a legendary.
I think he's a mythical because he doesn't actually appear in any of the games. Which is a weird thing for a game character to not do, but...
How about, what is it, Darkrai? Is Darkrai the one that has two forms?
No, he only has one.
Oh no, Giratina has two forms.
Yeah, the Weirdo Centaur and the Weirdo Snack. Oh, he's gotta be Uber.
Yeah, because he's a legendary.
Yeah, and he's, well, I'd say he's a strong legendary, but that's all of them.
He's, weak to himself. Well, no, because Dark resists Dark, doesn't it?
Yeah, but he's Ghost.
Yeah, but does Dark resist Dark?
Yeah, but he's not Dark.
Oh wait, he's Ghost Dragon. That's right.
Yeah, he's weak against himself.
Is Ghost weak to Ghost?
Yes. Yeah, yep, cast form is completely untiered. Surprising nobody. Cast form has a wide variety of support and coverage moves, but it lacks the stats to use them properly. And it has no breaking power outside of weather.
Breaking power?
I guess that means, like, being effective against walls and defensive Pokemon. Yeah, Celebi is underused. Not bad, but not good either. That makes sense, Celebi's also grass type.
And not fairy, and it's still confusing.
It irritates me, but I guess Psychic does kind of... I don't know, time travel and Psychic, they kind of go together. It's acceptable. I guess.
Have you surrendered to their decision?
This one. I'm still adamantly against Golduck not being a Psychic type.
And you did hear their weird reason why, right?
No?
Because in Gen 1, Psychic was supposed to be seen as a very powerful type.
I
and
thought that was
Psyduck...
your reason.
No, that's like one of the things that apparently was their logic for why.
Yeah, but what about... I mean, the reason I don't give is that we already have 2 families of Psychic water types.
Why
But-
would that matter to them? They duplicated type so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I guess they have 3 families of grass poison.
And all of the rock types were rock ground types. All of them.
Except for the fossils.
Yeah, which were rock water.
And rock flying.
Okay.
That is interesting. Darmanitan before in Gen 7 was rarely used borderline, and now he's overused. Why happen? And that's not Galar Darmanitan.
Maybe they made some sort of change.
Most of Deoxy's forms are like Uber.
Again, it's a mythical.
I think his one of them
Speed
is
form is like the god form, isn't
these.
it?
Well, it's Uber, so I'm trying to figure out one of his forms really sucked. Oh, I think
Defense form.
it's his regular form.
Why is that?
No, they're all Uber because it's basically like his attack and speed forms, but less decisive. Basically, his regular attack and speed forms are all glass cannons. It's just that his regular form doesn't quite go all in. Yeah, even his defense form is Uber. Which is impressive, given that it still has garbage hit points.
Must just be because mythicals traditionally have such high stats anyway.
Or because of some thing in competitive scene that I just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand any of those things. I really, really am not a fan of competitive scenes.
Yeah, I give him a chance, and it just... I always get burned.
You always get told how you're supposed to play, and it doesn't ever have anything to do with having fun.
But at the same time, I do see that as just the natural conclusion. Like the natural...
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It will happen.
And I can see why it happens.
Because there is obviously a successful way to play.
The only way to avoid this would be to make a game that is perfectly balanced, and that's not
Basically
a
impossible.
thing that happens. Yeah, Flareon is definitely untiered. Poor guy.
It's adorable.
This is
He's
what
the
happened.
only one to show up in Detective Pikachu.
What?
He's the only one to show up in Detective Pikachu.
I always
And I
found
think
this-
people actually griped about it because they're like, why would you use the worst one?
It's not. I don't hate his stats, but I find his aesthetic very
Basic, I
underwhelming.
know. You said he looks very plain.
It's just Eevee, but red and hairier.
Oops, this is the wrong one. I need this.
Nobody cares about triangles. They're not even round, and they don't taste like anything.
And they don't taste like anything.
Whenever someone in my Discords brings up triangles, I always throw out that quote.
And they're like, what the hell are you talking
And everyone's like, and everyone gets really pissy with me. Because I was going like, that is not true. And they start around, no, but pizza is triangles. And I'm like, no, pizza is circles. You're wrong.
Pizza is part circles.
And even a pizza slice has a rounded outer edge, and I think that disqualifies it for being a triangle.
Yeah, it's not. It is geometric, but it is not.
It's not an angle.
It's not straight.
Yeah, Gastrodon is PU, unfortunately.
I'm trying to think of any others that I had in my list of really interesting curiosities that it turned out more or less suck.
Why aren't you psychic?
Obviously, Wurmple sucks because most of the early bugs are not very good.
Yeah, they can't really do anything. It'd be very strange if it didn't suck. Like, he sucks even in the little cup.
Let's see.
Oh, goodness. Gorgeist is untiered. I didn't know that.
So it's that bad.
There's no situation in which you'd really want to use him. Ash Greninja is OU.
Can't you only get him in like 2 games?
I think. My problem with Ash Greninja is that it's not my Greninja anymore. It's Ash's Greninja.
Yeah, but you have him.
No, I don't.
No, I'm saying you've stolen his guy in that circumstance.
I mean, he likes Ash more than me. Why? I don't like that. Why do you exist?
You cannot make a city that has all of the things in it, I don't think.
Well, of course not. That'd be illegal. Blech. Aww. Jolteon fell down to RU. Yeah, Leafeon's untiered, and that makes me sad. See, if they went with Leafeon's beta design, I'm sure he'd be a lot better.
I don't remember the beta design.
It has like weird... He has weird feet. His feet are weird. That's what makes him impressive. Like Hanrock's PU, probably because he's a rock type.
It's just too bad because Rockruff is adorable.
Still should be a rock normal type.
He should. Although, wouldn't that make him worse? I mean, I guess if you're rock, nothing is going to make you worse except ice.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe grass.
Make him weaker against fighting, but immune to ghost. I don't think I make him worse much. Maybe a little. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, apparently back in Gen 7, Mew was underused.
For why?
I think just because he's not amazing at anything. He's just good at everything.
But he deserves all of the hugs.
That has nothing to do with his combat viability.
Yes, it does.
Milotic is rarely used. Oh, there's a strong gimmick. What? Mimikyu is underused?
So popular, but not used a lot.
No, I thought Mimikyu was a monster. Because his ability basically means one attack. He just can no-sell one attack. And he can hit hard, and he has a great typing. Really?
No-sell is a wrestling term.
Yeah, I know. It's a useful one. So yeah, mini...
The cryopreservatory, the ice place, is on fire.
You had one job.
Your job is cold. Why are you not doing it?
Why are you hot? You lost. No.
Alright, it's not on fire anymore.
It better not be.
It changed its mind.
So irresponsible. Aww. Oricorio's untiered.
Oh yeah, Oricorio, there's another gimmick Pokemon.
Oh, no. The ghost form is PU. He's not untiered, he's just in the worst tier. There's a difference, damn it!
He's not worthless, he's just awful.
He's not worthless, he's just the worst. Corion's really not even a gimmick, is it?
It was the first one that could change types.
Oh. Yeah, they're kind of low, but not awful. Is being the best a gimmick?
What do you mean? Oh, Rayquaza.
Yeah, I was joking there.
I mean, everybody's in love with Rayquaza.
Yeah, Sawsbuck is untiered. It's not like he even has his gimmick anymore anyhow.
Oh, do you not get to have any of the other forms now?
Well, seasons don't happen anymore.
Oh, they've just gotten rid of seasons?
They were only in Gen 5.
That's a weird thing to have gotten rid of.
Well, they were only in one game. Seasons, so...
Yeah, but it's a weird thing to get rid of. It
Well,
wouldn't have
it's a lot
taken
of
that
work.
much data, I don't think.
I mean, yeah, you basically need to model every area 4 times. All for the sake of one Pokemon.
Or they could have made it so that seasons were more significant.
Or they could make it so that even if they don't model every area for every season, your Sawsbuck still knows what season it is. That'd be fine.
Yep. They're not going to do something like that, though.
Nope, they just don't exist anymore. Was Silvally better back in Gen 7 at least? No! Nope.
Alright, so...
This is what happens when you have the stats of Mew, but slightly less. And again, I guess technically all it takes for a Pokemon to be bad is for another Pokemon to...
be slightly better at the same thing than them.
Yes, that's all it takes to be bad. Sorry, Flygon.
Yep. That's why you... that's one of the reasons you now dislike Garchomp.
Yes, with another reason being I never liked Garchomp to be... I never had a reason that I did like him.
Come on.
Yeah, Slacking is untiered. I think he deserves it, though. Smeargle is untiered. Oh, how the questionably mighty have maybe fallen?
Smeargle's big trait is it's only real.
It can use any move, and it has garbage stats.
Yep.
Except for its speed, which is mediocre. Burger.
no, don't have internet strugglings.
Nothing to do. What? Oh, Vaporeon's never used, apparently. That's a tier below Umbreon.
What is?
Vaporeon.
So it's not good?
Not really. Yeah, I mean, I think they're good in the never used tier. Which is a lot better than being untiered. Which means I guess you're never good. Vivillon's never used. That is better than untiered. I'm surprised. Oh, because it can learn Quiver Dance, which is one of the best moves in the game.
Why is that?
It increases speed and special attack.
But only for itself.
Yes. Well, I mean, you don't want to increase your enemies.
Well, I just mean you can't use it on your
No.
teammates or anything.
No. Oh yeah, Wobbuffet is untiered?
And what's its weird gimmick?
It only learns counter moves.
Only learns counter moves?
Like counter, Mirror Coat, Destiny Bond.
So it can't get the first attack?
It cannot directly attack unless it's using Struggle. I am baffled because Wobbuffet was hugely controversial for how overpowered it was. Why is it untiered? Is he just because he's banned? I guess that could make you untiered. I'm confused. Let's see, Wormadam's gotta be garbage. Untiered, yeah.
So are you saying that you are glad that you don't deal with all this nonsense?
I don't know. I guess I more wish it wasn't nonsense. So that I could take part in it. Yeah, Zoroark is rarely used, which means he is usable. Now let's go back in time and see how it used to be.
So what do we have here? So this is...
I went too far back in time and now there aren't any gimmick Pokemon. Really? Lapras used to be overused. I guess back when there weren't many options. I'm proud of you. And I guess that's before I sucked, because there weren't any good rock-type attacks anyway. And Steel didn't exist. And I guess you don't want to throw a fire-type at a water-type. Yeah, Mew used to be Uber. Oh yeah, because Mew could learn Soft Boiled.
Yeah. Which is like the best healing ability in the game or something.
It was the only TM healing ability.
But it was also like really good, wasn't it?
I mean, it's basically just recover. which is a good move. Yeah, apparently Mew just had to know soft-boiled.
Oh, there was no choice otherwise.
Well, no, just all of the best Mew builds use soft-boiled. Because I guess Mew does have the defensive bulk to use it back then when 100 was good. Let's see. Yeah, Ditto was underused and just got better from there. Yeah, there isn't much in the way of gimmicks I can really check.
In Gen 1.
Yeah.
Oh, Porygon.
Oh, that's one. He was underused. Yeah, it's probably pretty hard to have tiers with this few options. Oh. Someone's laughing at.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is because I'm not over there. I think it's Tilde's over there.
I don't know. I mean, what?
No, I was looking to see to make sure you were facing the mic.
Well, I do wish I could get more fully into Pokemon, because monsters. But they seem, sometimes I feel like they're trying to keep me from doing that. And I know that, yeah, Spinda must have never been good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Spinda was never good.
His gimmick was kind of weak anyway. The real question is, was Smeargle ever good? Kind of. If he were a little faster, he would be great. But he's not. He can screw over a lot of teams, but it requires extreme prediction and extreme luck.
Luck is never a good thing to require.
Especially in a competitive scene. Competitive scenes hate luck. Which I guess makes... Again, I understand why. I understand why. Cast form was never used because the PU and untiered tiers didn't exist yet. He was at the bottom was just higher. See, that's what's weird, is when Pokemon is just completely unusable from their conception. Like, why even? Why do you exist? Who is Brownie Brown anyway?
Wow.
Yeah. Classic us.
We definitely make lots of noises sometimes.
No. There's a video series that basically just tracks how Pokemon have proceeded viability-wise over the generations. And it always seems interesting, but then it becomes less interesting the more I watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man.
Because it highlights the stuff.
It makes you disappointed.
Yeah. I feel like it should be more interesting than it actually is.
It's mostly just disappointing.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly just boring. Like just hearing about how basically the whole rise and fall depends on, how does this Pokemon compare against like these 3 Pokemon that are the deciding factor for relevance.
I don't like that,
Like, if you want to be an attacker, can you deal with Ferrothorn and Toxapex? If yes, you're good. If not, you're bad.
Yeah, and basically it always comes down to Stealth Rock.
That too. That said, I'm starting to realize that, like, Ice isn't bad because of Stealth Rock. Ice is bad because of Ice.
I'm gonna say, you said Ice is bad because Ice is bad.
Yes. Spin! I hear that Dragon Quest Monsters actually has a very deep competitive scene in Japan.
Again, is that surprising?
No, I kind of wonder what
Japan
it's
loves
like.
that game, and
I
for
wanna
some
love
reason
it
America
too.
doesn't.
I want to love it.
You just don't love it because you don't like puns. That's your own fault.
No, I don't love it because it's not accessible.
Well, then that can still mean that you love it.
Yeah.
It just means
I can't
it's a
have
love
it.
that you can't have. Yeah.
But I want it. Why do you hurt me for loving you? I love it, but they hurt me. I cut you, Lisa.
I got you, Lisa. All that's gotta go away because this is gonna have to change its format.
Career.
Upgrade this.
I just wonder what up to.
I just wonder what Ganon's up to.
I keep waiting to hear they're localizing a Dragon Quest Monsters game. I'm still waiting, and I'll.
You'll probably be doing that for a while.
Yeah, I have been. But I feel it could happen. I just don't expect it to.
I don't understand why they're not popular in the States.
That's a good question, actually. I'm gonna ask Google.
Oh yeah, I have an international airport. I need to put that...
Yes, that autocomplete. Why isn't Dragon Quest popular in America?
So in other words, we're not the only ones to think this question.
Right. Let's see. Red asks, why is Final Fantasy so popular here, but Dragon Quest isn't? That is a fair question. Oh, well...
What did that mean?
It means I'm on Reddit. I'm not really getting answers. I'm just getting wild speculation.
Which means nobody knows. I find Dragon Quest a lot more appealing than Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy's mostly about humans.
I'd say they each have their strong points. Like, I like...
Chocobos and Moogles are adorable, don't get me wrong, I'm just saying,
Well, I mean,
it's
creature
mostly
wise.
about humans.
Well, one could say the same about Dragon Quest outside of the Monsters spin-offs. I like Final Fantasy's class system better. Back when they actually had that. I like Dragon Quest's atmosphere more. I mean, puns aside, I don't like how... I feel like, especially the modern Final Fantasies just take themselves way too seriously.
You're saying that they're Shadow the Hedgehog?
Yes.
Shadow the Hedgehog?
Yes, and Dragon Quest has never been that.
Yeah, Dragon Quest does not take anything seriously.
I mean, it's drawn by Akira Toriyama, so it can't.
It has...
The art style forbids it.
It has imps that stick their tongues out.
Yeah, and they try and cast spells that they don't have the maximum to use. So, yeah, no, it's kind of stupid and goofy and endearing.
Yeah, I find it very friggin' charming.
Let's see, someone here is calling out on looking kind of generic? What?
They use a lot of classical monsters.
I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't... I mean, it's Akira Toriyama. It doesn't look generic unless you consider... Unless your claim is it looks like anime, in which case, well, yeah, because it was drawn... it's in the distinct style of one of the biggest anime artists. Next, I mean...